This lesson is going to focus on graphing quadratics. So just a reminder, a quadratic function is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so you're going to follow these 3 steps to finding your axis of symmetry. So the first thing you do, find axis of symmetry using negative b over 2a. So that's the b, that's the a. Okay, then what you're going to end up doing is you're going to use that axis of symmetry to find your vertex. So basically that negative b over 2a is the x value that goes right here. Okay, so you're going to get a number. Then we're going to take that number and plug it into our function to find the y value. So this is an x value. Plug it in for your x's, find your y value. Okay. And then you're going to pick points on both sides of your axis of symmetry and your vertex to plug in. So it's easier just to show you what I'm doing. Okay, so this one, so remember ax squared plus bx plus c. So a in this case is 1, b is actually 0, there is no bx term, and c is 2. So you start with x equals negative b over 2 times a. So you get negative 0 over 2, which is 0. Okay, so then I'm going to pick 2 values less than 0, 2 values bigger than 0 to plug in. So negative 1 and negative 2, 1 and 2. Now I'm going to take all these x values and plug them into my function. Okay, so we get y equals negative 2 squared plus 2. We have y equals negative 1 squared plus 2. Y equals 0 squared plus 2. And then 1 squared plus 2. And 2 squared plus 2. I always put my squares in parentheses, whether my number is negative or positive. Okay, that's just a good habit to get into. So then you can use your calculator. Negative 2 squared is 4, plus 2 is 6. Negative 1 squared is 1, plus 2 is 3. 0 squared is 0, plus 2 is 2. 1 squared is 1, plus 2 is 3. And 2 squared is 4, plus, oh, and that should be a 2, is 6. And then you plot your points. So negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Negative 1, 3, 0, 2, 1, 3, 2, 6. And then this is what your graph should look like. Okay, it is a U-shaped graph, what we call a parabola. Okay, so it's a U-shaped graph whose name is a parabola. Okay, doing the next one. So A is 1, B is negative 6, C is 2. So we start with x equals negative b over 2 times a. So we get a positive 6 over 2, which is 3. Okay, so that goes in the middle of your table. Pick 2 values smaller than, 2 values bigger than that vertex value that we found. And then we're going to take and plug them in. So y equals 1 squared minus 6 times 1 plus 2. I'm going to go through all of the values that we want to find. All right, so 1 squared is 1. 6 times 1 is 6. So we've got 1 minus 6 plus 2. Okay, is negative 3. 2 squared is 4. Minus 12 is negative 8. Plus 2 is negative 6. 3 squared is 9. Minus 18 is negative 9. Plus 2 is negative 7. 4 squared is 16, minus 24 is negative 8, plus 2 is negative 6. And then if you see the pattern here, this last one should be negative 3. Notice that these are the same, and these two are the same. Okay. So then you plot, so 1, negative 3, 2, negative 6, 3, negative 7. Plot your points. It's a U-shaped graph. And there's my graph. Okay. All right, one more. Getting a little bit tougher here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start you, get the axis of symmetry number, and then I'm going to have you finish for your notes for tomorrow, and I'm going to check it. So in this one, A is 2, B is 8, C is 3. So we start x equals negative b over 2 times a. So you end up with negative 8 over 4, which is negative 2. So negative 2 is the middle value. So pick 2 values smaller than negative 2 and 2 values bigger than negative 2. Finish your table and then plot your points.